If you had any sort of childhood at all, then you will know that Monsters Inc. is a classic and truly is one of the greatest animated movies of all time. So yeah, naturally, I was excited that they were making a follow-up, or in this case, a follow-down, as it's a prequel. But who the hell cares what it is? It's another Monsters Inc. film. Sully and Mike are back, and yeah, was it worth the wait? Find out right here. So yeah, back in 2011, when it was announced that Pixar would be releasing a sequel to Cars, I was kind of wondering, why don't they make a sequel to one of their better films like Monsters Inc. or The Incredibles? We all want to see an Incredible sequel, and I still think there's room for an Incredible sequel that needs to be made. We're not here to talk about The Incredibles. So yeah, when it was announced that there'd be a sequel to Cars, I was thinking, why would they make a sequel to Cars? Because everyone would probably say that Cars is the worst of Pixar's movies, and I would agree. Like, well, now Cars 2 has been released, I'd say it's Cars 2. But not that Cars 2 is terrible, because I kind of found it okay. And the first Cars, I'm saying it's the worst that Pixar had done, and it was the worst to make a sequel for, but I still found it enjoyable. Although, I thought, one of their older movies, better movies, or even like, more recent ones like Ratatouille, could have made better sequels. So I was really happy when Monsters University was announced. But I originally thought, this would be like Monsters University would be Monsters Inc. 2, which it wasn't. And when it was announced it was a prequel, I was thinking, do we really need a prequel? It's probably pointless that there's a prequel. But then I thought, it'd be cool to see what Mike and Sully were like in their college years or university years. So I got quite excited for this movie. And I thought, all my happy childhood memories would be brought back to me. And they were. You're watching it, like in the beginning, it shows Mike when he's young, and he's walking along, in a school trip to Monsters Inc. And he walks in, and it shows the scare floor, and all the scarers are walking in, like how Sully did in the original, and just like, yeah, this is awesome, my childhood's coming back to me right now, you know. And you'll feel like that when you're watching the movie. I didn't think I'd be like that. I thought I'd be sitting there like, this is just a college movie. We've had plenty of them, and I heard it was really similar to The Internship. But to be honest, I haven't seen The Internship. But I can't see The Internship being like Monsters University. I will watch The Internship and find out myself, but I don't know. Anyway, the characters in this movie, a lot of characters don't return, which I would have liked to see return. Like in the beginning when Mike does go to Monsters Inc. There's this scarer who's talking, like giving a sort of inspirational speech to the students, including Mike. And I thought, that would have been better if it was Waternoose or someone who we know. And I was thinking it would have been cool to see Sully's dad as well. Just because throughout the film, Sully's mentioned Sullivan. It's mentioned that Sullivan is like a really famous name for scarers, but we never see any of Sully's family. So I would have liked to see when the scarers walked in, maybe the top scarer be Sully's father or something. That would have been quite cool. But anyway, and I heard that Mike would be the main character in this movie, and he is. And I like how in the original it was Sully, and now they're giving sort of Mike his own movie. I thought it could get annoying because Mike's just the funny sidekick, but I think he's good carrying his own movie. I mean, Sully's still my favourite character, and I think the first one is still a better movie. This hasn't beat the first one, and I knew it wouldn't beat the first one. I knew it wouldn't be as good, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it actually was. But I think it's good that Mike took this movie because Sully, he's great in the first movie, and he carries the first movie. But for college, it's good that they focused on Mike, and it's sort of opposite of how you'd like think, because you'd think Mike would be sort of the slacker because he's the funny sidekick, and you'd think that Sully would be the straight up worker like he is in the first movie. So yeah, that was quite different from how I'd imagined it, but I liked it. I thought that was cool. But characters like Randall, who is in it, I would have liked to see a bit more of him because he's not in it a lot. Like he's in it, and he's Mike's roommate, and he's a nerd like Mike is. And then like in the next sort of scene, the jocks from Raw Omega Raw fraternity, they take him in, like, but he's supposed to be a nerd, which I didn't understand. Like because Sully gets kicked out, of their fraternity. They take in Randall, and I was just like, it could have been explained a bit, but it is sort of explained because Randall, he does that invisible thing in the first one. It's sort of explained why he's there and that he's blending in with the cool kids, but that was a bit, I thought it was kind of unneeded. I know he's like the villain and all, but I would have liked to see a bit more of him as well, and I would have liked to see, sort of how the romance started between Mike and Celia. We never even see her in the movie at all, and but other than that, I think it was a great movie, and there's some really good parts about it. I wouldn't say I was roaring with laughter, bad pun intended, but I'd say it's very funny, and it goes back to the original humour which Pixar is famous for. And I think that this movie, unlike, sort of, let me think, like Brave, this one would appeal to kids and adults. And I was surprised when Brave won the Oscar for Best Animation, because, I didn't really like Brave as much as I thought I would. Well, as much as other Pixar movies, let's say. But I think this one, like, if Brave can win Best Animation at the Oscars, I think this one definitely can, and it deserves to, for 2013. And I know I said in my Despicable Me 2 review that was my favourite animation movie of 2013. Well, Monsters University has taken that over. I'm sorry, Steve Carell as Gru, but John Goodman as Sully is just better in voicing and everything. And the voice cast is crystal clear here. And Despicable Me 2 and Monsters Inc. Monsters University are completely different movies. But I'm going to say, I preferred Monsters University. I still like you, Despicable Me 2. I'm not going to go off of you. I love you, Minions. But I just got to say, I prefer the monsters to the Minions. So, yeah. Like, I'm sorry, my laptop cut out there for a couple seconds. Sorry about that. I was mid-sentence and it cuts out. Yeah, that was annoying. But what I was saying is, I like how the sort of college things added here and how they sort of play upon the humour of college. Like, there's always that one guy with the long hair playing the guitar, that's sort of shown. And like, there's this guy called Art who's in the fraternity that Sully and Mike join. And he's hilarious, you can tell he's a stoner. He's that one sort of guy that just smokes weed all day. He doesn't in the movie because obviously it's a kid's movie and he's not going to, but he just acts like he does. And in the movie they have to, Mike and Sully and the fraternity Uzma Kappa, which they join, who are the nerds, they have to compete in the scare games. And that was quite cool to see that. It was like Harry Potter when he joined the Triwizard Tournament in Goblet of Fire with monsters, and yes, completely different. But yeah, what I was saying about the voice cast is they are crystal clear. And it was John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, who plays Randall, and Billy Crystal, who plays Mike. John Goodman's obviously Sully. I think they're great, but the standout performance in voicing here is Helen Mirren as new character Dean Hardscrabble. She was just, scary. She's supposed to be a scary monster. She is a scary monster. If she was teaching me, I would not want to annoy her. Helen Mirren, great performance. Even in animation, you scared me. I'm kidding. I wasn't that scared, but she was good. She was great as voicing Hardscrabble. And I'll say the ending. It seems really predictable how it's going to end, and then it doesn't end. It like the ending comes and you're like, yeah, okay, that was a good movie, but the ending was sloppy and predictable. Well, it's not. Because after you think it's going to end, there's like 20 minutes more, and they're just great. Completely. You wouldn't expect what happens after those 20 minutes. And in those 20 minutes, the animation is great. It is on par with Despicable Me 2's animation, which I thought was great. Like the last sort of 20 minutes just looks so real. But I'll say, before the movie, they all, like Pixar movies, they always show a little short animation. And in this one, I didn't actually like it that much. It was kind of cool to see it. It was like an umbrella. It was sort of like live action, and it wanted to get to another umbrella, But we've seen like the Toy Story Toon thing, and stuff like that. The day and night thing which you saw in front of Toy Story thing, and sorry, that went a bit weird. That we saw in front of Toy Story 3. There, I got it out that time. Yeah, and that was quite good. But this one, it just doesn't have the magic of the other ones. But I think with Monsters University, Pixar has come back onto top form, much better than Brave and Cars 2. And I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 stars out of 5. And you know what's coming? A thumbs up. Yeah, I'll say it's a great movie. It's really enjoyable. And if you had a childhood and you love Monsters University, rush out to see it now. The sense of nostalgia will just come straight back to you. And by the end you'll be thinking, yeah, I want to go home and watch Monsters Inc. You know, and I think now that this review's over, I'm gonna go and watch Monsters Inc. Yeah. So I'll say I'll probably buy Monsters University on Blu-ray because I have Monsters Inc. on DVD, or I might just buy them both on Blu-ray because I would watch the movie again, and it's pretty great. So yeah, thanks for watching my review. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think down below. What's your favourite Pixar movie, and do you think Monsters University was better than Monsters Inc. or like equal, or did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. So yeah, thank you for watching, and as always, remember, subscribe and like.